You might dream of being a lone wolf millionaire, but life is rarely meant to be a solo journey. When you have a wife or husband by your side, you gain a powerful ally in planning life, building routines, and reaching your dreams. A supportive partner can multiply your motivation, keep you accountable, and help you both become better versions of yourselves. In this video, we'll explore why being in a committed relationship can amplify your success, from real personal experience and practical advice. The myth of the solo millionaire. We often see celebrities and influencers talking about how you can do it all on your own. Society sometimes glorifies the idea of a self-made success story, a solitary genius who makes millions and has it all. But in reality, that path is rarely easy or fulfilling. I used to think the same way. Once I make my fortune, I'll be on top. But even if you earn a lot of money alone, you might feel empty without someone to share it with. Think about it. What's the point of wealth if you have no one to celebrate with? Even worse, constantly chasing short-term flings or shallow relationships can leave you feeling drained and directionless. It's like creating a masterpiece artwork and then throwing it away. You're not building anything lasting if you leap from one brief relationship to another. In contrast, wealthy and wise people tend to build things that last for decades, like marriages or great companies. For example, Amazon started as a simple bookstore, but with consistent investment and vision, it became a tech giant benefiting millions. In the same way, your marriage can start small and grow into something incredible if you nurture it carefully. Key takeaway: true strength comes from partnership, not isolation. As you'll see, having a life partner can multiply your success far more than any lone pursuit. The power of partnership. When two people team up, the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. As soon as you commit to each other, you both become more productive in surprising ways. Here are some major benefits of a supportive marriage or partnership. Shared vision. You and your spouse can set common goals together. By aligning on what truly matters, every action you take is coordinated. Instead of vague dreams, you both have a clear roadmap. Mutual support. On days when one of you feels low or doubts everything, the other lifts you up. That emotional backup means you can take on tougher challenges without fear of falling completely. Accountability. If you know someone else is counting on you, you're more likely to stay on track. Your partner keeps you honest with your routines and plans, and vice versa. Balanced strengths. Each person brings different skills. Maybe one of you is great at planning and organization, and the other is great at networking and sales. Together, you cover more ground than either could alone. Shared resources. You combine finances, time, and ideas. Instead of one salary, you have two. That can speed up your goals, like investing in a business or home. Even if the money is separate, you often end up saving by sharing living costs and responsibilities. Real example. I experienced this firsthand. Before marriage, I was juggling everything myself: business plans, personal goals, even day-to-day chores. I often felt exhausted and unsure if I was heading in the right direction. But once my wife and I started planning together, everything clicked. We sat down with notebooks and listed what we both wanted: career milestones, savings targets, travel dreams. Suddenly, I had clarity. We set specific goals for each year, like buy a house, start a side business, launch a blog, or get fit together. With our dreams written out, every morning I woke up knowing exactly what I needed to do that day. It removed confusion, and I couldn't slack off too much because I knew she was counting on me. My story, before and after marriage. Let me share more of my personal journey. For years, I was single and really focused on my career. I hustled a lot, but I also had a lot of doubts and fears. For instance, I worried, what if I plan my whole future and end up meeting someone far away later? Would I have to scrap all my local business plans? Or What if my future wife has a business that keeps her traveling constantly while I want to stay put? These questions paralyzed me at times. I spent energy on what ifs instead of on my work. During that period, I also wasted resources. I'd go on dates thinking each one might be the one, spend money on gifts or dinners, and then realize it wasn't a real match. Looking back, those costs, both time and money, were crazy. Every time I ended things, I felt a little more drained. It's not that I regret those experiences entirely, we all learn, but I wish I had spent less on them. Eventually, my approach changed. I decided to focus on what I truly wanted long-term and be more intentional with relationships. When I met my wife, things felt different. We didn't just date for fun. Early on, we talked about our values and dreams. We said, let's see if we're heading the same way. Then we got married and became a team. After marriage, I noticed a huge difference. We divided tasks. She handled some of the household planning and emotional support. I handled finances and work planning, but we always consulted each other. We set weekly check-ins. We encouraged each other's hobbies. We celebrated every small win together. The result? My business and personal productivity skyrocketed. In fact, I saw my income grow by almost 9 times compared to when I was solo. It wasn't magic, but it was multiplying our efforts. For example, when I had an idea, instead of debating with myself whether to do it, I could just ask her, does this make sense? Her input often made plans better. When I felt stuck on a problem, she'd brainstorm with me. That saved hours I previously wasted in frustration. When I finally made a sale or hit a goal, I had someone right there to celebrate. Every step forward felt twice as meaningful. Setting shared goals and taking action. So how exactly does this partnership magic happen? Here are practical steps we both took that you can try with your spouse or anyone in a committed relationship. Talk openly about dreams. Schedule a relaxed evening, maybe over dinner, just to discuss the big picture stuff. Where do you each see yourselves in 5 or 10 years? What are your career dreams, personal goals, and life values? Write these down together. This alignment is powerful. Create a joint roadmap. Break your dreams into milestones. For example, if you want to start a business, list the steps and assign tasks. If one of you needs to save money for education, work out the budget together. Use calendars or apps to track progress. When both people can see the plan, motivation stays high. Build routines together. Design daily or weekly habits as a team. Maybe you both read for an hour each night, or do a workout together, or have a routine of reviewing progress every Sunday morning. Habits are easier to keep when someone is doing them with you. Encourage each other to take smart risks. Studies show that couples who cheer each other on tend to achieve more. When one spouse doubts, the other should be the cheerleader. For example, if one of you is unsure about applying for a promotion or starting a new project, the other can say, "Go for it. I know you can handle it. Even if it's tough, we'll face it together." That support gives you the confidence to chase bigger opportunities, share skills and resources, lean on each other's strengths. If your partner is organized, let them manage budgeting or scheduling. If you're good at sales, take the lead on negotiations. As a team, you accomplish tasks faster and better. Celebrate small wins together. Did you meet a weekly target? Did she finish an online course? Celebrate those moments. It reinforces that you're both making progress and keeps you excited about the journey. Be each other's accountability buddy. Gentle reminders from your spouse can keep you on track. For instance, if you promise to write 500 words a day for a project, she might say in the evening, "Did you get to writing today?" It might seem small, but those check-ins add up and keep you disciplined. After my wife and I started doing these things, tasks that once took me weeks to decide on took days. Challenges that once stalled me got resolved quickly because we tackled them as a team. For example, when I questioned whether to expand my business reach internationally, she helped me weigh pros and cons. Together, we came up with a plan to test new markets. That clarity and support meant I didn't waste a year worrying. I took action and discovered a new revenue stream. Choosing the right partner matters. Of course, not every relationship automatically leads to success. The benefits only come if you invest in the relationship and choose your partner wisely. I genuinely believe that a major part of your success depends on your life partner. Some say it's like 80%. I wouldn't be where I am without my wife's support. So how do you choose someone who will lift you up rather than hold you back? Here are some thoughts. Look for shared values. It's less about hobbies and more about things like work ethic, honesty, and vision for the future. Do you both care about growth, learning, and responsibility? Those common values help you work toward the same goals. Find a true teammate. Does she celebrate your successes and comfort you in failures? A good partner is someone who really wants to see you win. When things get tough, does he stand by you or make it harder? You want someone who feels like a teammate, not a spectator or competitor. Consider growth, not just fun. Early on, many of us think only about enjoying life with someone. But if you want to build something real, look for someone who challenges you to be better. A balance is key. It should be fun to be together, but also constructive. There are people who are great for short-term fun, but not for long-term support, and vice versa. Ideally, find someone who's both your best friend and your biggest supporter. Communicate your goals early. Don't be afraid to discuss big stuff. Finances, career goals, even topics like kids or relocation, early in the relationship. If you're open from the start, you'll avoid big surprises later. Be patient and intentional. Rushing into marriage just to have someone can backfire. Take time to build trust and understanding. If a relationship naturally grows into something serious and you both share goals, it's a good sign. Remember, a strong partnership isn't a magic fix either. It takes work from both people. But if you both commit to growing together, you'll find you accelerate each other's paths. Invest in each other and reap the rewards. When you do find that right partner, invest in the relationship like you would invest in a startup or a business. That means dedicating time, energy, and love. Schedule date nights, have honest conversations, keep surprising each other in small ways. This builds a solid foundation. As you invest in each other, you'll notice more positive changes. You'll feel more motivated. Knowing someone is there supporting you can make waking up early or hitting the gym a bit easier. You'll tackle bigger dreams. When my wife became part of my vision, we started imagining things that never occurred to me alone, like expanding into new markets or buying a property together. These bigger goals often only seem possible when you dream together. You'll handle setbacks better. Every plan has bumps. With two people, you can recover faster. If one of us has a bad day in business, the other is there to listen and help find a solution. It's way better than dealing with everything solo and stressing out. You'll experience joy more fully. This might not be about productivity, but it's huge. Achievements feel twice as sweet when someone who truly cares is right there celebrating with you. That joy fuels you to aim even higher next time. Final example. After we clarified our priorities, I invested less in meaningless hobbies and more in our shared goals. I remember one year, instead of going on a short trip to chase a thrill, we saved and took a small business course together. It was fun, but more importantly, it boosted both our skills. We used what we learned to save 6 months of work time the next year. Conclusion. In conclusion, I want you to know you don't have to go at life alone. If you have a spouse or life partner, tap into that incredible resource. Sit down together regularly, set your dreams on the same page, and cheer each other on. The result can be amazing. Stop chasing the idea of being a solitary success. Instead, build something with someone. Dream of nights celebrating not just the balance in your bank account, but also the happiness of sharing life with a partner. Your spouse can be your best supporter and biggest challenger at the same time. By encouraging each other, you'll see growth in places you never expected. You'll become better together, in habits, mindset, and achievements. So ask yourself today, what goals will I share with my partner, and how can we lift each other up to reach them? Start the conversation, start planning, and start succeeding together. The path to your dreams is much brighter with someone by your side. Remember, the strongest empires are built by partners who trust each other. Let your marriage or partnership become your greatest legacy. You both deserve that kind of success. Good luck, and keep growing together.